guys, happy October. I am so excited for October because this month we are launching the Doodle Planner, and I will be posting a full video with all the covers, the inside themes, all the details you'll need to know about the launch, but just know that it's coming soon and I'm really excited to reveal everything to you because, as you know, I work on these coloring book planners basically year-round. So once it's finally time for launch, it really is just such a big moment for me. So stay tuned for that. But because of all this craziness with Doodle Planner launch coming up, I do need a simple yet cute bullet journal setup to keep me motivated for this month. So that's what we are going to be creating. And I feel like especially for Doodle Planner launch season, there are so many moving parts. We're in the middle of planning some in-person events, possibly in Toronto and New York City, and just so many other things like the marketing, emails, setting up the shop pages. I also am still like designing other products that will be coming out next year as well. So I definitely need spreads that get me into that mindset. So that's what we're gonna be creating today for October. This month I really didn't have any ideas for themes because my brain is so all consumed from Doodle Planner. So I was like, you know what? I might as well create a theme inspired by the Doodle Planner, and also to give you guys a little hint of what the vibes of the Doodle Planners are gonna be. If you've already seen the 2025 Doodle Planner cover reveals that we posted on Instagram recently, then you know why I've chosen to do this theme for October. I've just been really inspired by prints and patterns this year, and this particular theme, as well as the Doodle Planners, were really inspired by the Clique books. If any of you guys ever read this book series, then you might know, but this was a book series that I read when I was like a tween, and all of the front covers had different plaid, gingham, argyle covers on the front, and I just remember loving those covers as well as those books, and I just really wanted to create a theme based off of it at some point. At first I thought I was going to print out the plaid pattern and then just use that as the background, but then I was like, that's no fun, so I just decided to build out this plaid pattern by hand. So I used some mild light colored pastel blue highlighters for the background base, and you just create this grid pattern, and then within the spaces of the grid pattern I used a brown zebra mild liner as well to add even more of those grid patterns, and then on top of the light blue I used a light pink highlighter for a very subtle grid pattern on top of that. I hope that makes sense. I know it looks intimidating to create a full pattern by hand, but overall, once you decide on your color palette as well as how dense you want the pattern to be, it's actually quite simple if you take it step by step. For me, the color palette that I chose is this light blue with brown, and there are a couple reasons why I chose this color palette. One, because one of our Doodle Planners has this color palette, and two, because I went to the Sabrina Carpenter concert recently in Toronto, and when I think of Sabrina, I think of light blue. She used that color combination for her album, and you know, espresso brown, it just is such a good color combination to me, and I've always loved it. It does remind me a lot of the early 2000s, and it just looks so soft yet neutral and girly and fun, so I just love it. Before we move on to the rest of the spreads, I want to give a quick shout out to Notability. If you guys don't know about Notability, it's a productivity and note-taking app which I love. It is compatible with our digital doodle planners. Yes, we are going to be coming out with another digital doodle planner this year for 2025, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be out in November. I got a lot of questions asking whether we're still doing it, and you can use it on Notability. If you import it as a notebook, you can color in all of the doodles. I like using the highlighter tool because once you do it, the lines of the doodles will just show up right on. You can create your own digital bullet journal spreads as well, because the recent updates mean that you can add things on different layers, so you can bring things forward or back, which means that stuff like stickers, photos, doodles, it just is really fun to create digital scrapbook pages. Definitely recommend it. It's such a multi-purpose app, and especially for any of my student little doodles out there, it's great for lectures. You can audio record right on your notes. They have a new Notability Learn, which is an AI tool. I will leave a link for a discount to Notability Plus here, as well as in the description box below for you guys to check it out. Okay, now back to the bullet journal spreads. After finishing the cover page, which I kept pretty simple, just using stickers for the letters as well as some heart stickers that matched the color palette, I created a simple little quote page on the page next door, and I just drew out a large heart with my brown marker and then created the plaid blue and brown pattern inside of it, which I thought would be really cute. The heart cutout kind of reminds me of Sabrina Carpenter's heart corsets and dresses as well. For the concert, I actually did create a little bedazzled heart outfit that looks similar to her stage costumes, so I've just been really in this heart mindset lately. And then underneath, I used my blue letter stickers to write "I'm working late" because of the lyrics in Espresso where she says "I'm working late because I'm a singer." And these days it does feel like I'm working late because of the Doodle Planner, so maybe it's like I'm working late because I'm a planner. I don't know. But I put that on top of a brown piece of washi tape that I had that perfectly fit the brown color scheme that I had going on. I love this soft, milky brown. It reminds me of coffee, so we love that. Next up, I'm creating my monthly calendar page, and like I mentioned, there are so many things happening with Shop ARL this month, so I wanted to create a full calendar spread where I can map out the dates of everything. So I'm using my brown mildliner to create the boxes. The dimensions are 6 by 6. In the background of the calendar, I created that plaid pattern again. During the cover page stage, I was using a ruler and a piece of paper to create the perfect straight lines, and then by the end, like by this spread, I was like, this isn't me, so I was just freehanding these lines. So there are some wobbles, but I thought it still turned out well overall. I really used those dot grids to create the width of the plaid pattern. It helped me like measure a lot. So for this blue thicker base of grid, I made it 3 grid spaces wide, and then within that I was able to create the thinner lines of the plaid and just kind of act as like a pseudo measuring tool. So the grid pattern is very helpful if you're looking to create a plaid pattern for your bullet journal. I think it would be so fun to see you guys recreate this theme but with different color palettes. Choosing the color palette for this month was actually the hardest thing because I think plaid looks good in so many different color schemes. I didn't know whether I wanted to go full dark academia vibes or if I wanted to go like schoolgirl vibes. The Doodle Planner cover that we just revealed is more of like a dark academia warm plaid, very fall vibes, which I love as well. So originally I was gonna exactly recreate the Doodle Planner cover, but then this blue and brown was just really calling to me, and I love that I chose that. This washi tape, I doubled up and used it as the headers, which worked out really, really well for this calendar. I think this month, because of how busy things are, I really found ways to fast track creating spreads, like using stickers instead of lettering, using washi tapes, really simple spreads in general. And even though it's simple, I think they came together really well. Even looking at this calendar page right now, the plaid color scheme is so satisfying to me in my brain. I just love this vibe, and I kind of wish I created a Doodle Planner with this cover, but maybe next year. Since we are getting to the end of the year, I've been reflecting a lot on my goals that I set at the beginning of the year, specifically with journaling and life. And I remember when I did my 2024 bullet journal setup, I really just wanted to not worry about making cute and pretty setups, which I know might be counterintuitive because you might be looking at this and be like, this looks cute and pretty and aesthetic and everything. But I think compared to my mindset from previous years where I was really intense about creating the most cohesive, extravagant, intricate themes or making everything perfect, I really think compared to that, I've really let that go and just let myself have fun with themes. In the past, I might have thought doing this theme might be too simple or just not enough, but I'm so glad I allowed myself to do it this month. I don't know, it might seem small to some people, but it really is a different mindset in terms of creating and drawing for me this year. And I've just been focusing a lot of my energy on different projects and really fulfilling myself creatively and artistically lately. So that has just been very special to me. The spread that you see me creating now is a very simple weekly spread as well as a brain dump page for the upcoming Doodle Planner launch. Because I pretty much take care a lot of the admin things by myself for Doodle Planner, you know, our team is still extremely small, which I used to think that I wanted to grow the team, but I've realized I really like having my hand in all of the pots. It just makes me feel very involved in the process of Shop ARL, and I hope that you can tell, you know, on the receiving end of that. It's a lot more work, but it is very fulfilling to be able to plan stuff like in-person events or giveaways, stuff like that. So that's why I just need this blank page for me to spew all my thoughts out. And then for the weekly spread on the right, I just created this simple rolling to-do list with the days of the week as well as a to-do section. I finished off these spreads by adding a little heart for good luck, and here is the flip through of my October 2024 bullet journal setup.
Whenever you're lonely, just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show.
Okay guys, so that's it for my October 2024 bullet journal setup. Of course, here are some of your recreations from last month, as well as your Doodle Planner spreads. So if you guys are a Doodle Planner user or if you recreate my spreads, please send them to me. I love seeing them, and especially since we were working so hard for the Doodle Planner launch, seeing you guys use it really just gives me motivations. I know it feels like I've been a little bit more MIA this year, and it's because this is one of the big projects that I've been working on, is just upgrading Shop ARL, upgrading the Doodle Planner, and now you guys get to see it soon. It's all I talk about these days, so I'm excited to put it out in the world so that we can also talk about some other things, because I'm sure you guys are also tired about hearing about the Doodle Planner, but it's truly my child. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Keep doodling, bye!